Welcome to the Business Growth Spotlight, where we shine the light and talk with business leaders from all over the world who are coming to share their expertise and wisdom so we can all grow together. I'm your host, Heidi Schalk, co-founder of HLH Growth Solutions, and we help businesses scale revenue using outside-the-box visibility methods. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. We're so excited to have you here with us. You're in for a real treat today with my guest, and also please stay to the end because we have a special gift for you. But without further ado or delay, I want to introduce you to our guest today, Maksym Petruk with WeSoftYou. So welcome, Max, to the podcast.
Thank you. It's a big honor to be here.
I'm excited to dive in. So Max, can you start us off by telling us a little bit about you, WeSoftYou, your company, and your role within it?
Of course. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of a company called WeSoftYou. So we are a custom software development company, primarily focused on developing custom solutions for different type of projects, different type of organizations. We work with government, enterprise, nonprofits, mid-sized businesses, and startups as well. So you might ask, like, so many different ICPs, yes, but this is the nature of custom software development companies. And right now we have our major focus on education and AI. So we work with different educational institutions to help them automate and digitize education and bring AI technologies into that as well. So we have around 100 people in our company. 80 of them are developers. So whoever ever needed development services or help, they come to us.
Amazing. So you've grown significantly, as you just shared, with 100 people with you, and you've grown significantly in a crowded market. So what do you believe, Max, are the non-negotiable elements for early traction when launching a B2B software company?
It's a good question. Relationships and networking is the major number one thing. So I believe sometimes one good relationship in our type of business can bring you, a couple hundred people, load for a couple hundred people and millions in revenues. So because everybody needs a great software developers, like everyone needs a good tech team, right? But the problem in our business is that how to build the relationship, how to build the trust, so these people can trust their huge budgets, to and dedicate them to your team. So there's a whole roadmap how to build that trust, and to build a successful relationship, you need to know right people with whom to build this relationship. Because if they don't have a budget, right, to build, if you build the best relationship, you will not grow your revenue. So you need to be as professional as possible to know with whom to build a relationship and how to build them.
Yeah, you make a great point there. If you don't have the revenue in order to do the marketing, relationships are super important. But that being said, even when the revenue is there, those relationships are key. That doesn't ever stop. So, and I've talked to a lot of CEOs, founders on this podcast, and that's one thing that's consistent that I'm hearing is relationships are key to growing. So thank you for that. So once you've hit initial traction, what shifts in strategy, culture, or infrastructure are essential to move toward a sustainable, scalable growth?
That's a really great question. So we have few departments in our company, and we have a human capital responsible for recruitment and retaining people. We have a delivery. This is one of our main department, which is like delivering for customers. And we have marketing and sales department, right? So, and for delivery, the key value and part of the culture in our company is like we deliver, we work until it's 5 stars. So we cultivate the culture of delivering until it's 5 stars, because sometimes you can deliver something you think perfect, but customer doesn't like it, and it's not 5 stars, right? So you need not to like deliver perfect software. You need to make sure it's 5 stars. Like people like it, is exactly what they want, and they are happy. So this culture we're cultivating in delivery, and this is mandatory to keep growing your accounts. And for a business and sales and marketing, This is more of a consulting culture where you need to be able not just to try to sell to people, like not to be the delivery guy who's trying to just give them what they need, but the people who can discover what are their needs and what we can build for them. Because we are like a chocolate factory, and we can build whatever kind of sweets you need. So we just need to discover what kind of sweets you like, what kind of sweets you need, what kind of sweets your friends or your family needs. So, and then we build them.
Yeah. Fantastic analogy. You broke that down and make it super simple to understand. So I love that. So when working with early stage startups, how do you align on product vision versus practical execution, particularly when budgets and timelines are tight?
That's a very good question. And you asked me about some pivotal moments in our journey, in our history. And in the beginning, in the first, like I believe, first 18 months of our company, we were trying to work on all the possible projects, like whatever we can find, whatever we were able to find. We didn't qualify customers. We're just like, okay, you guys have like 10K, you need to build this app, which actually costs like around 30K. That's fine. Like we will work on that fixed price. And then it turns to forever project, right? Like never ending. And that was a problem where we didn't have like enough income, but we're still working on the projects that were half done, but not paying us anymore. So, and that was like pivotal moment for a company because we were about to close our company, shut down, because we were not able to make a proper economy and proper unit economy in the company. So that's where we try to create a consumer metrics, like our customer metrics, and understand who are the best paying customers, what kind of services we're providing to them. And we outlined that at that stage of our business, the VC funded startups and small mid-sized businesses with revenue was like they were the best customers for us, because we are a highly talented tech team, but we can spend our energy and our resources on people simply without money, right? Like who can't afford like building something. So, and at this stage, you need to know already more about business and startups. How do they operate? How do you qualify them? How do you understand that these guys, these founders, they really like they will high likely raise money if we build them the proof of concept or MVP, right? So there's like higher chance for them to succeed. So, and you need to be a little bit, some sort of VC who knows how to qualify good founders with whom you start working, with whom you don't start, because right now we have maybe hundreds of different potential leads a month, and we start like working with maybe one maximum. So even less than 1%, we are able to qualify, because if you have some amount of money, you want to build something, it doesn't mean you can become a multi-million customer for us.
So what are some of the common pitfalls that you see that founders encounter when they're translating an idea into a working MVP, and how do you help them avoid those?
Well, this is a good question. We're trying. We're always trying. We invest all our energy to try to convince them, to follow, I would say, the best path how to succeed in the startup world. But as a development partner, we don't have that much authority, to say how to consult them, how to run their businesses. So, but we always trying to convince them in like the same model that successful companies are using. So you need to build as fast as possible, as bold as possible, and try launching it.
Yeah.
You need to launch it, you need to try, you need to get feedback, and you need to invest more into marketing and product, not in tech.
Mm,
So you need to invest more into marketing and hustling. And you need
yeah.
to be and you need to full time doing this. Because we used to have a lot of customers who were not doing this full time. They had like 3, 4 founders, and like no one is doing this full time.
Yeah.
I can see any chance of succeeding, for the projects that are not managed by people who are full time engaged and responsible for that.
Yeah. And I like that you said quick to market. So, because a lot of people, a lot of companies, founders, I've heard will spend a lot of time on development and then they go to market and then they realize, wait a minute, we're either too early or our messaging is off. And it's really important that you're testing all that. Like you said, go to market, get feedback, ask questions, learn about your ICP, your audience, your client. And then as you are learning that, your product is growing and evolving. But so I really love everything that you shared there. Spot on. So Max, how is WeSoftYou currently leveraging AI within your development process, and what impact have you seen on productivity or quality?
Well, so it's a very good question, and AI is pretty. There are many areas of AI. So by mentioning AI, we're mentioning the whole industry, right? But like we have AI for coding, right? We have AI for business processes optimization. We have AI for content generation, like Gen AI. So this is like completely different topics. And for our business, AI is one of the major threats, right? Because vibe coding is a new huge industry which is growing right now.
Mm,
And if you know what's vibe coding, it's like coding with AI, simple. Like when you're creating applications without help of engineers, but like when LLM is your engineer. So, and this is like new separate business. So we have some customers that allow us to use AI for writing their code, but when the AI writing your code, this is completely different story. And we see it as a separate line of business, which will cannibalize like our main part of business in the longer term. Is
mm,
so like vibe coding services. So all the people that used to order development services, they will still order development services, but now they will order the vibe coding services because you can build MVP much faster and cheaper
mm,
than you build with manual coding. So that's a big part. Of course, another part of non-direct AI optimization and impact in our business is a processes optimization, like with the help of AI, AI agents orchestration, AI agent workforce, and ability to structure all these AI agents into really working, operationally working organization, I would say.
mm.
So, and we already implementing AI agents wherever we can, inside our organization. But vibe coding is the major thing for us. We already have conversations with our customers, how we can set up the proper vibe coding infrastructure for them, and not hiring junior developers anymore.
Mm.
Completely replace the potential junior developers with LLM, with large language model managed by senior developers.
So let's talk a little bit about that because there's a hot debate, right? So
Yeah.
are AI tools on track to replace software developers or simply augment their abilities? What are your thoughts on that? Where do you stand?
Yeah, so it's definitely it's the same when the industrial revolution happened, right? So we had the manual labor, which was like optimized by industrial revolution. Then industrial labor was, mainly replaced by the intellectual labor, right? So now we're optimizing intellectual labor. So, and this is the same what happened to during the industrial revolution when we have it will be just optimized. So like maybe, I don't know, 70-80%, like on my guess, but still you have, let's say like at the beginning, like 50%, because it will take a longer time for a bigger organization as an enterprises change their policies and start adopting and accepting AI. And that will take longer, but it will not go away. So the software developers, like, the CTOs, they will be needed. Like, you can't fully delegate everything to LLM, to AI, right? It's scary. So you want somebody to be reliable and responsible, at least at the beginning. But in the future, I don't know. It's a big change into society in general, how we operate, how we communicate. Because if you want your all software to be built and managed by AI, well, that's it takes a lot of change into legislation, um, into practices. Like, what if something was failed because AI failed to write a code? Who's responsible for that, right? And what is the like practice? What is the practice in if we go, somebody try to suit you, and what's happening then? Say this was built by AI. That's not my mistake, but you were responsible for that, right? Wipe coding. So for that you need a good CTO who knows how to wipe code and how knows how to manage all these wipe coded projects. And of course, if it goes like more complex and your software become more complex, I would say it's more difficult to set up all this infrastructure or microservices managed by AI wipe coding agents.
So you had mentioned earlier the importance of marketing, Max. You had talked about that, like it's a key piece. So let's dive into that. You've grown the company, you've had success. You're up to 100 people now. What are some of the ways that you're getting visible? How are you getting in front of your clients, so they know? How are you standing out in the crowded market with WeSoftYou? And what are some challenges you faced along the way, and maybe how did you overcome them?
Okay. Yep. So we have in our business, we have two ways of we have two different scenarios when you talk to customer. So when it's actually lead means he already got a need of building some software, or it's a prospect. This is just just our ICP, like our ideal customer profile, but he or she doesn't need anything right now. So, and one thing at the first in the first case, we just need to have more relevant experience. So, and this is kind of about a little bit of a lottery. So you need to have more skills and experience and cases which fit exactly this project. So, and here the projects, because it's very rarely when the customer coming just to you, he's coming to like 5 different companies more. So, and you need to be the most proficient. You need to explain how your processes work. You need to explain why you will succeed in this project, why you will deliver it on time and budget and in the best quality. So that's why we explain to customers that we have our 36 standards of quality. We have a absolutely well-structured processes, set of reportings. How do we avoid the black box filling for customers? Why they will have a full control and co-creation experience, and not waiting like 3-4 months until their project is delivered, and then there's a black box for 4 months, and then getting their project and say, oh, this is actually not what I expected. So we explain that, and it helps us a lot. In the second case, we need to use a lot of marketing tricks and networking skills to always stay in the top of mind brand awareness. So to stay top of mind, if they ever need help of software developers, they will come back to us. So how to be those guys who are in their short list? Oh, okay, this is like that firm. Okay, I know them. I'll let them know if I need anything in the future. So how to stay in that favor. So like how to be, how to build up this top of mind brand awareness. And for this, you try to stay active on LinkedIn. You need to go to the conferences, because once they see you for the first time at the conference, they don't put much attention into. Then they see you second time at the conference. They, okay, I remember that guy. And they see you third time at the conference, and you're already like, oh, what's up, dude? Like, hey, actually, I know the guy. He needs something, blah blah blah. So this is how it works. Sometimes you can be friends for years, for 5, 6 years, and then this guy might be your good brand ambassador and refer you customers. So that's a long-term strategy around that.
Yeah, there's time for the short game and then there's time for the long game. And many people give up the long game, and the follow-up is, you always hear fortunes in the follow-up. And that also means with not just customers and clients, or people that are in the pipeline that are currently close to closing, but also those who aren't, like really building out a nurture sequence, and whatever that looks like for you. And every company could look different from company to company, but that nurture sequence is important. And like you said, consistency is key. You've got to be getting in front of them. And, you can go to a conference, you can be there. If it's the first time meeting them, you still got to nurture that relationship after that event is over, because it could take 2, 3, 4, sometimes 24 times, right, for somebody to see you and hear from you in order to be like, oh, okay, let me learn more. I'm ready for that next step. So let's talk goals, Max. What's next for WeSoftYou, and what are the big goals that you have for the next, say, 12 months?
That's a good question. And we currently facing challenges in the face of AI, right? And we need to properly transform our business, because when we start, working on something in AI and build some product around that, and then we realize in 1 month, OpenAI or somebody already released that feature, so you can just use them now, so you don't need to build your own. So the pace right now is just insane. So we are now thinking of how do we become more, AI first company. This is not the choice right now. This is mandatory, this is just the agenda. It's not it. You need to transform. You need to find your place under the sun right now and find what is try to guess what the services or products will be most needed in the future.
So go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's we are heavily brainstorming right now, trying to combine it with our existing operations. So trying to focus more properly on the thing that are important, because we see a lot of changes, on the market.
So if I could give you a magic wand, Max, and you could wave it and go poof on one challenge, one issue you're having right now that might possibly hold you back from achieving your goals, what would it be and why?
Wow. Magic wand to remove some obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would think for me, to remove the lack of awareness and experience how to grow companies beyond 100 people. What to focus on, sometimes, I start to ghost people, like not to manage them to really well, or sometimes I over managing them, giving to them too much attention, and they start take all of my time, and I don't have time for anything else. So sometimes just to have this, to get this feeling how to properly, structure your time to manage and grow organization above 100 people. That's and of course to be able to foresee the future a little bit, because we were thinking to build something like Cursor at the beginning, but my CTO and he was like, oh no, this is nobody would need just a wrapper around OpenAI. Wrapper around OpenAI is so dumb, everybody can build this. But those guys built that. And I know how much Cursor they were required, right? For 40 billions or something. A lot of money. So in a couple of years. So that's a good question. And and the most funny thing that why Coursera was acquired for such, huge, they paid such a huge check, is because they own a lot of data. A lot of companies just went and just give all their code, all their data to the Coursera. So we're speaking a lot about data security, data privacy, but like there's no data privacy. So everybody using like right now OpenAI, ChatGPT, and everything becoming more public and or held by bigger companies like OpenAI. So down they acquired Coursera, who owns billions of samples of code, and people were just using them and giving them all their codes, all their accesses, everything. So that's a funny thing about that. And if you're thinking too much about the security or this thing, I wouldn't build this thing because it's not secure, nobody cares right now. You just need to build and build as fast as possible.
So one of my last questions for you is, if we could bring you back in say 12 months in a year, what would success look like for you and WeSoftYou?
If you bring me 12 months back,
yeah, if we could bring you back on, revisit this conversation in 12 months, what would success look like for you?
Oh, definitely. So we launched the successful AI product around automation, testing, augmented software development, AI augmented software development. And we transformed a big part of our business into vibe coding and successfully grew our sales and delivery in that area, and hopefully double our revenue.
Awesome. So Max, how can people connect with you who are listening, learn more about WeSoftYou and connect with you personally? Where can they find you?
Of course, I'm always on LinkedIn, first of all, and you always have my contacts on WeSoftYou.com on our website. And I'm always open to talking about AI and all these topics because they're so fresh, so new, and it's really amazing to see how some people's build while other people say, oh, this is just noise, nothing gonna happen. But the world is changing right now, it's in a crazy pace.
Yeah, it's ever evolving, so it's always exciting, right? You never know day to day what's going on. It's always, like you said, it's always fresh. There's always something new happening in AI right now.
Maybe right now, today, some guys are 2 weeks away from the publishing their life, world-changing MVP. We don't know. Maybe right now something big is happening.
Yeah, which is exciting. So if you're watching, for those of you listening and watching, if you're watching Max and I on YouTube, thank you very much. We're glad to have you here with us. Leave a comment below for Max. Make sure you connect with him, WeSoftYou.com. Check him out on LinkedIn. We'll have all of his links and contact information, bio, all the great things inside the show notes, so you can get it all there. If you're watching us on YouTube, like I shared, please, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. We're looking to grow the channel, grow the podcast. Our guests are spending their time sharing what's been working for them, what hasn't been working. They're being very open and transparent on how they've grown their businesses to support you in your growth. The main purpose of my mission with this podcast is support more businesses in growing and succeeding. Right now, we have a high failure rate of businesses closing their doors within the first 5 years. I want to flip that number into more succeeding. So our guests are giving their time. So we would love for you to subscribe, get to know them, reach out to them, and allow people to share this episode, share WeSoftYou with someone that you may think this could hit the product, the service could benefit. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, like Apple, Spotify, or any of the others, and you can leave us a review. We'd love a 5-star review. That helps us share Max, WeSoftYou, and our other guests with more people to help more businesses grow and flourish. I did promise y'all a gift, so I'm going to give that to you right now. If you're looking to grow your visibility, Max shared how he's being seen, how he's getting out there, getting in front of his ICP. A lot of it has to do with relationships. And if you're looking to grow your visibility and you're struggling with that, that's a big challenge for you right now in your growth, then go grab our free Spotlight to Scale blueprint. You can go to spotlighttoscale.com/blueprint and grab that. Max, is there anything before I let you go and we wrap up that you want to share that I didn't get to ask you or we didn't touch on today?
I just want to say thank you. You asked all the most relevant questions, or the most hot topics, and something really drove me and helped me even to realize that my anxiety around AI and trying to be and move faster and faster is not just an anxiety. This is the right choice and the right pace we're choosing. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. I know you're very busy, so I appreciate you taking time out of your day to share with us and be here today. Please go check out Max. Go connect with him on LinkedIn. Tell him you heard him here on the Business Growth Spotlight podcast. Go check out WeSoftYou. It's WeSoftYou.com. And thank you again for being here with Max and I today. And we will see you on the next episode of the Business Growth Spotlights.